All right, we are on the play now that we've clicked yes. Oh, this is a nice hand. Match 2 of this league. I didn't mention that it was match 1 for match 1, but hopefully you guys can pick up on that. Not exactly. Actually, match 1 is when that's least relevant, given that the stakes are literally even. So let's see. I imagine we want a Steam Vents here. Cast a Serum Visions. Let's see what we can find. Mandrills is good. Denial, something I'm going to want on top. Do I want Bolt as well? Maybe underneath the Denial? I think when we have one Bolt in hand, the Denial is more likely to be good because the second Bolt could end up being a decent bit worse than the first one depending on the matchup. Well, we're going to want both of those cards. Alright, do you have lands, Affinity player? Maybe a Mox Opal, that works too. You don't need lands. Lands are overrated. There's a Mox Opal. Oh yeah. Oh, that's lame. That's a lot of permanents. Okay, well, we're going to bolt that. That's something I enjoy bolting. Draw a card. Hold up Stubborn Denial. Make sure that payoff card doesn't bury us. Alright. Not bad. This is a sufficient position. That makes it a lot less sufficient. This Stubborn Denial. Okay. Well, that's actually kind of fine. Because that means we can counter a Cranial Plating. Springleaf Drum, not something we can do. We can still counter Cranial Plating. It's okay. We got this. We got this. What do you got? Cranial Plating. Alright, Vault Scourge. That's a lot less like a Cranial Plating. That's absolutely okay, though. We're going to take one. Yep. We didn't need to crack this fetch, and that's a win. Because we got to draw this Lightning Bolt. This Lightning Bolt, that Lightning Bolt. Play this fetch. Let's crack a couple of these. One will grab an island. The other will grab a forest. We're going to want to pay extreme attention to our life total. Cast a Hooting Mandrills. Do I actually want to cast a Hooting Mandrills? Means we can hold up the extra spell, but Tarmogoyf actually might be a little better here just because we're going to cast Hooting Mandrills. They're putting stuff in their graveyard. That's fine. Goyf's still a 3-4. It's not a 5-6, but it's a respectable 3-4. And it's pretty likely to get much bigger by the end of their turn, so that's fine. Hope of Girapur. We won't be able to cast non-creature spells. That's a big deal. That's a very big deal. We don't run too many sorceries that we're going to be looking to cast, though, so maybe it's not nearly as big a deal as I think. I'm not going to denial it. Much rather hit a Cranial Plating, which they probably don't have at this point, to be quite frank. Likely an attack with the 2 flyers. Not counting the Ornithopters, of course. We probably want to take out the one with Lifelink, I imagine. If the opponent doesn't have anything for us to denial by the end of their turn, I believe it's just a Thought Scour. Let's make Goyf great again. Okay, well, we tried. Sometimes Goyf just doesn't want to be great. Okay. Okay. That makes me a lot more interested in playing a land. Wait, Hope of Girapur is an artifact creature? I was thinking that was a vehicle. That's kind of funny. Holding up Stubborn Denial, actually not that relevant because they're just going to hit us with this and make it so that we can't denial. Then again, we're going to have to take a lot of damage to play out both Goyfs, which is a downside. How much of a downside? I like the idea of having 2 Goyfs in play. Going to 10's alright if they don't have a payoff card. And we basically just have to kill them before they get it. That seems alright, given that we're not doing much else. We took 2 damage, basically, to get a Goyf into play, because we weren't reasonably casting the Stubborn Denial. I imagine our opponent knows to attack us before trying to resolve a non-creature spell. They're probably... Why are they attacking with Memnite? You swing with the Hope. There you go. Possibly with Manlands, but apparently not. We'll take 1. They might have something here. They also might not. They did not. Well, we can't cast this. Can we cast this? Did they target us? Oh, you have to sacrifice it. I didn't know that. I should read more often. Well, that's fantastic. Yes, I want Lightning Bolt on top of my deck. Is that a question? And another Mandrills? Okay. I can live with this. Do we just swing with the whole team? The only thing we're blocking is this Memnite, and we have a follow-up Mandrills, most likely. So I very much like getting aggressive here. They have a lot of life we have to chew through. And I would like to get through it. Cool. We're going to deal with some stuff. One of those Goyfs gets a little smaller. So what do we got here? Artifact, creature, land, sorcery. 4 card types. So we want to leave instant in the bin. Probably in the... Well, actually... Doesn't really matter what instant we leave in the bin. Do I care about Traverse the Ulvenwald right now? I feel like I don't. I feel like I don't have that luxury caring for Traverse. Stubborn Denial can go. Do I want to tap this? That's acceptable. Or do I want to just exile the extra bolt? Both seem fine. Not much one does over the other. If the opponent, once again, has a plating that they want to resolve, they're just going to swing and sack the Hope. Or maybe they really want to get damage in and they go for it now. That'd be okay. Signal Pest. Sure. That's going to be annoying. That's a reason we want to get aggressive against Affinity. We need to close the game. Signal Pest really helps their do-nothing cards do something. Cranial Plating off the top, obviously something they would very much like to top deck. Do I just swing with the team here? We have a Bolt in hand. If they have a single threat we have to deal with, we're covered. They don't have to chump everything, but they're going to have to chump a lot. We definitely swing with the 2 Mandrills. That's the easy part. Once again, Tarmogoyf's only blocking Memnite. I mean, Memnite does 2 damage thanks to Signal Pest, but we're swinging with the 2 Mandrills for sure. At least 1 Tarmogoyf. It's obviously going to be the bigger one. Question is, does the last Goyf come in? They're probably taking around 8. They chump both of these Goyfs. I like the idea of them staying at 4 because it means they don't die to Bolt. I'm trying to think from the opponent's perspective here. Okay, what do they have on the crackback? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 power. Thanks to Signal Pest. If they play a Cranial Plating, we don't have to worry about it until post-combat. Because of Denial, we're not worried about... Well, I mean, I guess we could worry about Galvanic Blast, but we're not taking this damage because we're swinging with the team. Don't think there's much upside in holding back the Goyf. If anything, they're incentivized to chump with the Memnite as quickly as possible because it's the one thing that can't attack well. We drew a lot of really good threats this match. Game even. It's still game 1. This doesn't feel like game 1 against Affinity. They had a really fast hand without much payoff. The only main payoff card was the Overseer, which we thankfully had a Bolt for. Thoughtcast drew them into not really all that much. And that's about it, really. We might take 4 here. Don't think I mind taking 4. The opponent might have exactly 2 Galvanic Blast in hand. That's a reason to bolt one of the creatures if they attack with both. Actually, if they attack with both, I think we're definitely bolting one. Just because it's pretty unlikely that they want to attack with both unless they have us dead. I don't think they want to attack at all unless we are dead, and I'm pretty sure they scooped. Yeah, MTGO just a little slow. Oh hey, Temur Battle Rage. Thanks for the information, opponent. I appreciate it. Not entirely sure why people reveal their hands. I guess it's to show us what they had. Maybe they're annoyed that they didn't have the cards they wanted, but you just told me you're playing Temur Battle Rage, which is a very non-standard affinity decision to make. So thank you. I appreciate it. Let's sideboard. 3 Mandrills going to come out here. It did serious work there, but usually it's not going to do a lot of blocking. In fact, it didn't do much blocking there. We're not looking to be as aggressive as we were just now. Post-board especially, we can afford to slow it down. Take out some Thought Scours. We don't need to cantrip here in order to fill up the graveyard. We're going to be doing quite a bit of interacting. Disrupting Shoal going to go. We don't have enough 2 CMC spells here to reliably hit their payoff cards. 1 Mana Leak, 1 Stubborn Denial. Take out some counter spells because we have 2 Ceremonious Rejection coming in here, 2 Huntmaster, some Artifact Hate, an extra land, couple sweepers. Looking forward to trying out Kozilek's Return. 1 more card, and I don't think it's EE. EE isn't something I really like. It is EE. I guess I just didn't have anything better when I put this plan together. I don't hate having the second Mandrills over the Engineered Explosives. Engineered Explosives is okay against Affinity. Hits their go wide draws really well. I guess it's another answer to Etched Champion. That's a decent argument. Only 13 creatures here, though. That's a little low. I kind of want to board this out immediately for Hooting Mandrills. Huh. So what are we going to do? Don't really want to board out a Traverse. That's a pseudo threat. That counts. Let's run it. I decided to board out 3 Mandrills and board in 1 EE for a reason. I hope it was a good one. This hand is stocked with interaction. I think I'm happy to keep it. We're going to basically live for a long time here. That's going to be really important given that we don't have a green source, but we have a very long life expectancy with this hand. Turn 1 Bolt, turn 2 Dismember, Denial, turn 3 Ancient Grudge. The opponent kept their 6. Let's see what they're going to do and what we're going to draw. Here's a Memnite. That's reminiscent of last turn. Signal Pest, sure. That's all? Fantastic. What do we got? Delver of Secrets. I kind of don't want to cast that yet. Gonna cast the Steam Vents. Gonna shock. Cast the Steam Vents. You don't cast lands. The reason I'm holding that up is not because of Lightning Bolt, because Signal Pest, not a huge threat right now. It's more so a potential Cranial Plating, which I would very much like to counter. Signal Pest means it's pretty unlikely that they have the plating. Oh, we could just bolt the 1 Signal Pest, take 1 off of Memnite. I don't want them to have 2 Signal Pests. That seems fine. Not very ideal. They might have Mox Opal plus plating, but that's not super likely. When the opponent has 2 Signal Pests, they can rack up a lot of damage, so I very much like stopping that from ever happening. Delver of Secrets actually makes it a lot less important for us to hit a green source anytime soon. Mishra's Bauble, look at you. That's going to help us hit that green source and help Delver transform. Good guy, Bauble. I don't really want to dismember a Signal Pest. I mean, I might. It's possible. Here's an Inkmoth Nexus. We're no longer denying Cranial Platings. Etched Champion, okay. That makes me a little more interested in dismembering a Signal Pest. We're going to go pretty low to do it. But on the other hand, Signal Pest represents extra damage thanks to this Etched Champion. We're going to have to either block the Signal Pest with the Aberration, which actually isn't all that bad. We're definitely not dismembering Memnite. I guess we could just hold on to the dismember, keep our life total high. That's not too bad. I do think they want to attack here. Signal Pest not going to get blocked by the Delver of Secrets. And if I'm them, I'm pretty willing to give up a Memnite in exchange for a Delver of Secrets, I think. Especially given that we have a Bauble in play. Makes that Delver a lot more likely to become an aberration. They didn't. Well, I can accept that as well. They could be playing around us going at the Etched Champion. We have a Tarfire on top. That actually might give us a line to go at the Etched Champion. 1, 2, 3. No, we don't. We don't. We want Bauble to hit the stack first so that Delver takes a look at that Tarfire, which is probably going to deal with Signal Pest. Yes, I would love to reveal it. Bauble's going to draw us a couple of cards. We actually might work our way towards taking out this Etched Champion. Let's play the Bauble. We're going to be using that as soon as we can, not waiting for any sort of Scry synergies or another Delver. Think we go to the opponent. We're going to want to... We want to draw more lands, basically. I want to cast this Huntmaster sometime soon. I want to cast 2 to 3 spells in a turn. Not going to wait on the Bauble. Tarfire going to be very nice. Soon enough. The opponent with another land, making our denial look awful. Before they do anything, we're going to want to take out this. This way we only take 2. Taking 2 is a lot better than taking 3. Probably even more, since this Memnite, well, they probably don't want... They might not want to swing with the Signal Pest. Given that we have the aberration, I believe this is totally fine. Well, we can't block, so we won't block. Yup. Okay, we're going to Bauble them. No point in looking at our top card. It's another Signal Pest. That's a little annoying. Dismember not doing much here. Draw a couple cards. Okay, green source. And a Mana Leak. That's interesting. That is very interesting. I kind of want to start attacking with this aberration. What are the chances we can take out enough artifacts to actually kill this thing? Pretty low? I guess we may as well go for the long game. We're not winning the short game, and we actually have a chance at the long game, so I kind of like waiting. Here's the Signal Pest. If we go for the Mana Leak, nothing really happens. It means they can't animate Ink Moth. That doesn't do much for me. I think I'd rather let this resolve and just Ancient Grudge it. We're going to take 2. Yes, sir. That's fine. Mana Leak is unfortunately falling off at a rapid pace. I wanted to Ancient Grudge on the end step. Clicked a little too aggressively. We're going to get a Forest. That could cost us the game. Not having dealt with that Signal Pest. Especially if we draw a land and then want to cast Huntmaster here. Basic Forest. Probably would have gotten a Stomping Ground tapped on their end step. Well, there's the Stomping Ground. That makes me ever so slightly happier to have not used the Ancient Grudge. Using the Ancient Grudge obviously much better there than not, because then we can Grudge for 1 and have Mana Leak. As is, we don't have that luxury. The Shockland, though, something I don't necessarily want to slam Huntmaster with, so I'm pretty okay with this outcome. Definitely not happy about it. Clicking too fast, very bad. Or I guess tapping the 1 key on the keyboard. Do you click keys? I know you click mouse buttons, but do you click keys? Cranial Plating, fantastic. Well, we're not going to Ancient Grudge. That's what I wanted to see. Taking that out, very important when the opponent has an Etched Champion. We don't block Etched Champion very well. We also can get rid of the Signal Pest because we know about it. They might not even swing with the Signal Pest. No, they're just going slow and steady, 2 damage at a time. And I think we're going to keep letting these cards rot in our hand. I feel like that's our best line. Just leave the cards where they are. No need to commit to Dismember to take out a Signal Pest. It's fine. Dismember's mostly here for when they get to use Ravager. That's the main reason I keep Dismember and Vapor Snag in post-board against Affinity. When they have Ravager, they can do some disgusting things. So, yeah, I'm fine with playing Huntmaster here. I had to think about whether or not I would be casting Serum Visions on my next turn. I don't think we do. The main thing is Affinity probably has a spell that they can use to stop Huntmaster from transforming on our next upkeep, in which case we probably don't want to cast the Serum Visions then, because then we're not transforming Huntmaster, shooting something down. However, I think I'm okay with that, because we have 3 instants here. If the opponent has a Cranial Plating right now, we're in trouble. Arcbound Ravager, also pretty bad for us. I think just about everything else is okay. Here's a Signal Pest. We're going to take 2. They might start using the Signal Pests to push damage through. Looks like they are if they're animating that Ink Moth. Oh, okay. Okay, we're getting frisky. So we give up Aberration, but we don't have any Infect yet. So I'm pretty fine with not giving up Aberration. We're just gonna eat that, trade a Wolf with a Memnite. That's gonna cause us to take 5 and 2 Infect. That seems okay. The Infect I'm really not concerned with. So on this turn, we're going to pass, have the Ravager shoot down Signal Pest. Arcbound Ravager. Insectile Aberration is going to be... It's going to have decent blocks against their Ink Moth. They're not swinging with the Memnite because we're going to have a 4/4. And slowly but surely, we're going to turn this corner. Very, very slowly, but also quite surely. Very important to keep in mind. Ravager is also going to be transforming back imminently because we have tons of stuff we want to cast. Your Face and your payoff card. Signal Pest is like half a payoff card because it's not even close to as good as Cranial Plating or Arcbound Ravager, but when you have a bunch of Memnites, it's amazing. That is going to be Ancient Grudged, so I'm fine with it. We're going to take 2. Still can't stop that. We're going to work our way to stopping that. Ever so slowly. Hand away from the keyboard. Not going to give up this window. This one's important. Take out the Overseer, and I believe I just want to take out Memnite. I want to gain 2 life. Gaining 2 life sounds awesome. We're also going to swing with the Huntmaster, I think, since they can block it with Ink Moth, which seems pretty bad for them. Okay. So we're going to swing with these 2, because there's not much blocking that they're going to do. And I think... How many artifacts do they have in play? If they animate Nexus, they have a 3rd. Okay, so we're going to force them to animate the Nexus to protect... Oh, this is fantastic. They're too low on artifacts. This transforms, shoots them, threatens to take out the Etch Champion. The opponent in response is going to be forced to animate that Inkmoth Nexus to turn on Metalcraft so that they don't lose their Etch Champion. Metalcraft is going to be online, but before Ravager's ability resolves, we're going to go down to 3, deal with this Nexus, make it a -4/-4. Metalcraft turns off again. Etch Champion bites the dust. The opponent takes 2, and they draw a card. We also have Spell Snare very conveniently to counter their main payoff cards, so I don't think there's anything close to bad about what we just did. It was really quite fantastic. I am extremely happy that we held on to the Dismember. Very glad to be rewarded for my plays, especially the ones that I assume are good. Affinity doesn't have haste creatures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They play Galvanic Blast. In fact, Galvanic Blast makes me not want to cast a second spell. Oh, hey, Lightning Bolt. That works. bottom, bottom, bolt face, while holding up stubborn denial. Cool. 2-0 against Affinity. What? That's fantastic. 1-1 in this league now. I think 2-0ing Affinity makes me feel just about better than anything possibly could. Playing against Affinity is very fun, even though it is a bad matchup for us. Not even that bad, but I mean, it's unfavorable. So going 2-0 against it makes me quite ecstatic. And it's fun to play against, so it's like we enjoyed playing Magic. Not even just I always enjoy playing Magic, like that was good Magic. And then we 2-0'd a bad matchup, so those are like two of the best feelings you can have put together in one euphoric. I don't even have a noun to finish that sentence with. Euphoric state. Euphoric. It doesn't matter. We 2-0'd Affinity. That's what matters. That was great. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. Thank you all for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Of course. When do I not?